Get ready.
Hey there, Disney lovers. Welcome back to another Disney Plus Wednesday, really. This week, I'm going to go through the top 10 Disney live action remakes or reimagining stories. Is that a word? Reimagining? Reimagining. I think that's the word, yes. Story. As you can tell, we are recording this as live, so it's not going to be any editing. So I will be doing a lot of ums and ahs and really weird noises with my mouth, but I do apologize. So we're just going to go through some of the remakes and reimaginings of some of the Disney cartoons. So that is what we're going to do. We're not going to do like the Disney live action films and stuff like that. These are the ones that are just based on the cartoon films that Disney have done before. Again, this is going to be my personal opinion, so you might have a very different view, but I do want to I do kind of want to know what yours is and stuff. This is going very well this week. I am just bumbling over my words. I do apologize, but this just means I get a more personal opinion on some of the things that I'm going to be talking about to you guys instead of it being scripted. So I think we're just going to go in unless I dig myself into a hole even more. But let's move on in to number 10, which is Cinderella. Now, to be honest, I haven't actually watched this all the way through because, I don't know, to me it's not sending the right message to people because it's like that corset looks like it's really pulling in on her as well, and it might be CG'd, I don't know, but it's like it does seem like a very tight corset, and it's like you don't need to wear very tight corsets to make your prince fall in love with you. So like I said, it's like I haven't fully watched it. I do miss the old singing mice and stuff, but as of most of these live action ones, they've try to bring it in a bit more realistic without any of the talking animals, but that's not true for all of it, as we will progress on in a moment. But yeah, Cinderella, not really one for me. It's like it beat Dumbo only just, I think, because I started watching Dumbo and that's another one. But I never really liked the cartoon Dumbo. So I was already at a loss there. But we're going to move on to number 9, which is 101 Dalmatians. Now, I do love it. It's like everyone thinks of the live action remakes being quite a new thing. But look at that date, 1996, and 101 Dalmatians was done as a cartoon. And I really did enjoy this film when I was a kid coming up, because it was like, oh my god, this is a live action version of the cartoon. Wow. It's like, yeah, it was different, but I think that was the wow thing with me when I was a kid. So obviously that's what's happening now with some of these other ones like Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast and things like that. It's like it's just for the kids. That's what we gotta remember, is that Disney is mainly aimed at kids and family. So yeah, 101 Dalmatians, like I remember Cruella de Vil was quite menacing in it. So yeah, let's move on to number 8, and that is The Jungle Book. Oh, I hate snakes, and look at that picture. Oh. Now, my issue with this one and another, almost all of the Disney live actions with animals is there's a lot of CG in it, so it's like, what's the point of making it a live action? It's like this one, there's just the man cub, Mowgli. It's like that's the only human character until later in the story. So it's like there was no point, in my opinion, doing this film really with this. But saying that, it was beautiful. The animation was amazing, and the way that he interacted with them as well was fantastic. So that's why it's slightly higher than 101 Dalmatians and Cinderella. We're going to move into The Lion King. Now, this is my cat's favorite film. She loves watching this. She would literally just sit there glued to the screen. Now, again, there's a lot of CG in this, but I know that there was a lot of new technologies that were used to be able to film this as well. So that's why it's higher than the Jungle Book. But again, there's no human characters in it, so it's like, apart from the scene, the beautiful sceneries and stuff, there's no real point, I think, of making it as a live action. It's like it's not really live action, in my opinion. But there we go. That is my opinion. I know loads of people like it. I prefer some of the songs I prefer all the songs really in the cartoon. But this is one of the things I don't like about these remakes, is they try to remake them completely the same. And I'd rather, it's like, if I wanted to watch the cartoon, I would watch the cartoon. And they've just changed that to CG instead of 2D animation. But there we go. Here we go. Let's move on to number 6. Now this is more like it. It's like Maleficent. So Maleficent is the reimagining story of Sleeping Beauty. Now this is better because they've changed the story completely, really. The main principles and things are still there, and the acting is fantastic. Yes, it's got CG in it, but it's mainly some human actors and physical sets and things like that. So this is far better. And I know Maleficent 2 is on here as well. I haven't watched that one myself, but I do know a lot of people love that one as well. But this is what I mean by is the reimaginings are better, in my opinion, than the remakes, because they try to make things too similar with the remakes, and it just doesn't work and annoys people who were like, well, what's the point of doing a live action? So there we go. Let's move on in now to number 5. And Alice in Wonderland. Now, right, this is a reimagining remake. It's a weird one, but it's a Tim Burton film, so what do you expect? You got the same actors in it and things like that, so it's like, I would have put this lower, but if the fact of Jungle Book and Lion King, just, I didn't see the point in those really, and I wasn't fond of Cinderella at all, so that's why this is number 5 and not anywhere lower. But it's just a weird one. It is totally weird film. And the sequel, I can't remember what it's called. That's not rated to me at all, really. But 2010, so it's 10 years ago. It's still, because Alice in Wonderland is a wacky idea anyway. So they played on the Tim Burton feel with it, just to make it this Wonderland, really surreal thing. And obviously Alice is a lot older than she is in the cartoon. Now it's kind of like it's a sequel to the cartoon, because they do refer to her coming to Wonderland before and things like that when she was a girl, and obviously she's I think she's 18 or 19, I think, in this film. So it is completely a reimagining, and is it's a sequel, I think, to the cartoon more than a remake. So let's move on to number 4, and we have Beauty and the Beast. Now it's like this. I've got mixed opinions on this. It's like there are some songs in it that I really liked as this version, but then, like, Be My Guest, it's like I really didn't like the way that they did that. And also Emma Watson's auto-tune throughout it really throws me. But saying that, it's beautiful. It's like, I know I'm saying about what's the point of having live action when you're using a lot of CG, and obviously there's a lot of CG in this, but then there's a lot of human characters as well in it, and it's like Gaston, fantastic, with that, what's his name again? Come on, I should really know his name. Luke Evans, because he's Welsh. Luke Evans is like, he put on a French accent for his part, and they told him, what are you doing? Why have you got a French accent? It's like, well, it's in France. And they told him not to. But I thought he played a fantastic part as Gaston. And all the characters were great in it. It's like, it's only Ian McKellen, I felt didn't really want to be there at the end, but that might be just his character. Who knows? But yeah, it's like the additional songs were interesting. But Beauty and the Beast, the song in this was actually really well done, and they did pay homage to the original scene as well, which was I think it was one of the first CG animated backgrounds in Disney cartoons. Excuse me. So yeah, I think that was that. So like I said, I'm in two minds with this film. It's a beauty of a film, but it's also a beast of a film. Okay, moving on. Number 3, Lady and the Tramp. Now, I did really enjoy this. I watched this about 2 or 3 months ago, and I was pleasantly surprised with it. They did change some of the songs, obviously for cultural reasons, because things have changed, and I'm kind of glad that they did. And it's also, it's like it does separate the cartoon from the remake, that they changed some of the songs in it, but the animation of the dogs was fantastic. You can tell that they actually used the dogs as actors as well, and they just done a bit of CG on their faces and things like that. It is a really beautiful film, and it's interesting that it was a Disney Plus original and didn't come to cinema, or it was a premiere access or anything like that. This was out, it was kind of to draw people in, wasn't it, for Disney Plus when it came out in November in the States. So yeah, if you haven't watched it, I do recommend watching it. It's slightly different from the original, but also it is a remake which they've adapted, like most of the remakes, but this one it's more true to the story. So that thing again is why bother. This, I think it kind of works because it's I don't know. I am very hypocritical sometimes on these things, but this is one that definitely is okay in my book. So we're going to go on to number 2, and that's Aladdin. Now, I know loads of people kicked off the fact that Will Smith was playing the genie. It's like, obviously he will never replace Robin Williams, and the cartoon was a fantastic version, but this is a great remake in my opinion. It has some newer plot bits to it. It's not completely like the original, which I like. It's like if I want to watch the cartoon Aladdin story, I'd watch the cartoon Aladdin story and not watch the live action version of it. So yeah, that is my opinion on that one. It's like I do really enjoy it, and he does do a great job as the genie in my opinion. It's like Robin Williams is the cartoon genie and Will Smith is this version's genie. This just separate them two. Don't try to compare them, guys. It's not worth it really. So we're gonna go on to number 1, and that is Mulan. Now, yes, I know a lot of people do not like this film for a number of reasons. One, about the premiere access, or they think that it's not it's not true to Chinese culture and things like that. But and they say no, there's no songs in there, there's no Mushu and everything like that. But if you just take it for what it is, which is a film about Mulan, and it's a reimagining. They actually even say right in the start, there are many stories about Mulan, but this is my story, or whatever it says that. So it tells you right at the beginning, don't expect anything that you've seen before. And they do pay homage with some of the instrumental songs of the songs from the cartoons. They made instrumental versions, which is a beautiful touch, I think. I think she's done a fantastic job at playing Mulan, and I do like the whole magical key feel to it, or chi. Is it chi or key? One of the two. I'm going to have to watch it again. I've only watched it the once, so I'm going to have to watch it another time, mainly to make it worth my premiere access, but it's like I have watched it with family, so it was worth it then. And obviously now you have group watch on this, so try group watch and watch together even when you're apart. Now, I'll be very interested to see if you can do this as a group watch if somebody hasn't paid for it. So I am going to do a bit of a test on that. And a few weeks ago, I did do a group watch video. It's on how to actually do the group watch and stuff. And I will put that to the test, whether you can watch it with somebody who hasn't hasn't paid for the Premier access. Now, I do have access to another account, as a family member has given me access to be able to look at that. So it's not like I'm paying for 2 Disney Plus accounts. I'm not that crazy. But yeah, so it'd be interesting to see how that works, because I know it works on all the other videos and things like that, but it'd be quite interesting. So have a little look at that video, guys. I will link it in the description and at the end of the video. But saying the end of the video, that is it. I want to know what your top 10 or maybe what your top 5 of the Disney live action remakes is, and why as well. It's like, what did you like about them and what didn't you like about some of the other ones? It's always good to have a little chat with you guys. I greatly appreciate every one of you who takes the time to comment on the videos and also to watch them, share them, and all things like that. If you'd like to tip us, then like I said, you can share our videos. That really does help us out. Or you can go to the link that's displayed on the top of the screen, which is coffee.com/skybotfilm, and you can tip us the price of a coffee, which we've set at £2. So it's even cheaper than some coffees, guys. So it's really good. And what we use that money for then is to get some better technologies, better cameras, microphones and things like that. And also when we do raise enough money through YouTube and through our tipping sites and things like that, then we can literally spend all our time doing these videos for you. And we want to give you as many update videos as soon as we can. So we can only do that if you guys support us. So thank you very much for everyone who has supported us so far. But that is it for this week. So what will come next week? Who knows? You'll have to come back next Wednesday. So until next time.